Watch carefully. What's changing here? The SKU? What's a SKU? What does location have to do with this retail price? So the retail price is based on SKU. Criteria, critical? So let's figure this one out. What's this Control-Shift-Enter? What is this, 1985? Nope. It could play a part for some users. Hit F9. Why? Because I use this choose rand between. What's its purpose? So it's interactive. You can see what's going on here. You can see over here in the anatomy, we have to do some serious thinking in order to pull this one off. What are we going to use? We're going to use index and small and if and row and index. Remember, maybe in a previous video I mentioned we're going to have to do with some stuff with rows and what have you. Well, here is a reason why. And if you take my courses, you check out Excel Prime's courses, and I have a whole bunch of them. I'll explain in detail how to overcome this row situation. But I'll explain a little bit here. And probably won't go too terribly in depth, but this is a good one. This is worth viewing from beginning to end. Brad Williams, Excel Prime. This is a quasi refresher from the earlier index that we did. I explained to you relative reference, the row count. Because we're not using formal row count, we use this index to show the retail price based on SKU. Let me explain how this works. We're using a SKU number. We want to identify retail prices from 1, 2, 3, 4. Not ascending, not descending, by this SKU. If we have 4, 5, 6, we want to pick up the first 4, 5, 6. We want to pick up the second, third. We're just going to go to the first 3. What's under the hood here? It looks intimidating. For those of you who think, some of this stuff is simple, here you go. Throw it out, explain it. Explain this to your friends. What's going on here? As I explained before, what do we use this row index? Think for a second. We know we have to identify rows first and foremost. If not, how are we going to use this index function to find the retail price? Look here, row SKU minus row index. Isn't that exactly what we used before in that previous, it was 3 tutorials back? Go back if you have to, review this, okay? Taking a look here, we have index, SKU, 1, 1. So we have row index, and let's go in here, right here. And so we have row index. We're going to have row SKU. It's going to give us this, you see where it's red here? We're just looking at row SKU. So that would be row 1. If we were to do this, we would just say C5. We want to put a mixed reference there. We don't want this first number to move. It automatically takes care of that when you put it in a name range. Our name ranges are here. Minus, we're just going to give a reference here to the second, third, fourth, fifth, to these different rows. So if we look here under row index, I don't know if I can capture this. Array, row, column number. I want this array, F9. Here's the array. And what's index saying? This is the exact same as what we did before. We highlighted 9 cells and it just showed 1 through 9 or 0 through 8. Index is just going to say row number, column number. Not a big deal. Row is just going to say row. If we go down one other row, I'm trying to get a number here. 1, 2, 3, 4. F9. 5. Okay, it's going row SKU minus 5 plus 1. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus 1. We have to identify our row reference. This number here, row SKU 286. We have to find our row references. F9. Row SKU 286 F9. That's not what we want. We want row reference F9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's our reference. We really don't care about anything else. All we want is 5. Why? That's our reference. That would be the same as B5 in the previous example with that dollar sign. That is not going to change. So we go B5. Then we go over here and we have to use some creativity. We're going to go row index. We want to keep track of any changes. In other words, if we want to find out what's going on in this cell, we have to reference it. How are we going to do that? Look, we have row index SKU plus 1 plus 1. Well, let's look at row index, not worry about that 1. We have to add the 1, but you're going to see why, because we're just referencing the first row. So 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. Just like it was before, we're going to add 1. Get that all packaged up and remember all this. Let's look. We have to add that 1. We're looking for this nth value. The nth value is our k value. What we do is we use small. Well, look what small is. What is small? Small is let's look here at this big picture. That is our row number. We have to use this complicated method in order to generate a row, because that's what index is looking for. That would be the same thing as match, but here we're using small. If SKU 286 is equal to SKU 1286, then follow through with this. Otherwise, nothing. Here we're going to have logical test F9. False, 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 true, 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 false, 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 true. Well, let's look. We're looking for 4, 5, 6. Is false, false, true. So we got false, false, true. False, false, true. False, false, false. Okay, great. Why do we use small? Well, let me show you. If we look at small, what are we going to do? We're going to get this array, our list. And what's it going to do? Because we use this reference, these row references, it's going to be able to pick off what rows we're looking for. Be sure to check out all of our Excel courses. Excel data and text manipulation. We have an advanced beginners and intermediate course. Excel essentials. This is for individuals new to Excel. We have an advanced, excellent beginners, level 1 and level 2, and intermediate level course. Excel formulas, formulas only. We have a beginner, an advanced, and an intermediate level course. Click on any of the links. There's a short video that explains everything about the course. Check it out. Because SKU, if SKU is equal to SKU 286, look here, SKU 286 is C5 to C13, SKU 1 is equal to H4. We're asking, does anything in our list equal here? And if yes, show me the row. So hit F9. What do we have? Just look at our SKU here. False, false, true. 3. What's the 3? It is that nasty reference that I was trying to point out to you. We have 1, 2, 3, false, 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 6, false, false, false. We use small in order to find H7. Remember, H7 is going to be this number right here. So small is just hit K, F9 is 1. Small is going to look here, going to look for the small number. It's going to pass that on, that number to, don't worry about 1. That small number is going to be, well, it's critical. This is the row. Small, because we use that relative row, we're going to be able to pass that on to index. Index is going to go 3. Let's look at this thing, the array and the row number. Okay, we have a row number. Based on all of that, because we're looking for number 1, index is going to pick up row 3. It's going to show us 2294. It is really, really hard to explain this. Here, we have the array and the k function. And here we have number 2. So if we look and we see the row number based on our input, F9, it's going to say row 6. We're looking for the nth value, and we just told small to find number 2. If it's true, we're telling small here, we want to see right here, you see where it says H9? Well, this is H9, 3. Small, find in your array, F9, find 3 if it's available. If it's true, row number, F9, is passed on to index, and it just says 3462. That's a big one. For those of you who want something more complex, trust me, we have some other stuff ahead of us that you may find boring, or you're going to go, all right, I need to sign up for the beginner, or I need to sign up for the advanced. If you want something more challenging, let me know. It's endless. Brad Williams, XL Prime. Williams out.